Hey everyone, it's me once again, the one and only Killer Dan. And today, I'm continuing my Disney movie marathon, and I'll be reviewing Cheetah Girls Part 2. Yep, the Cheetah Girls Part 2. And of course, as usual, I do have to talk about the plot line for this particular movie. Well, you can call it a plot line. Well, anyway, folks, in this particular movie, we see the characters making a return, of course. This rock girl group, the Cheetah Girls, is about to discover just how important dreams and true friendships can be as they head to a particular place for their summer vacation in Spain. Yep, in this one, folks, they are going to Spain. So, one of the mother's characters announces a trip to this place to meet her current boyfriend's family. Let's just say that daughter character wasn't exactly happy about it. I'm guessing because she's jealous, I suppose. And there's some sort of daddy issues going on or something. It was never really clarified what exactly. I'm guessing she's having a daddy complex here, I guess. So what? Beginning of the film, folks. This group wants to enter this particular contest in order to go to somewhere, and the thing is, they need the money in order to actually go there. However, as the film progresses and they actually go to Spain, and it's pretty obvious that the fact that these girls, these young women, actually have a lot of money. Matter of fact, enough money to actually travel around the world. So the whole entire conflict of money in the beginning of the film is totally inconsequential. So it didn't need to have to be there. Man, this movie sucked, folks. It was awful. I've bought the extended edition, which is a bit longer than the original version. That was not very good, folks. It was not really good at all. And yeah, granted, this film does attempt to have some sort of drama conflict throughout the entire film with small petty fights. Unfortunately, that's all it is. Small petty fights among the group over some trivial stuff, which doesn't make a whole lot of sense when I think about it, because of the fact it's just dumb. Small moments of conflict would just be there just for the sake of being there and never really go anywhere with it. It's like having the woman that kidnapped Rapunzel just whining and complaining about the fact what kind of panties and bra should be wearing, and then that little drama over there won't amount to anything in the actual movie. How is any of these pitiful fights relevant to the plot, and why should I even care? I just don't get it, folks. What's going on exactly? I just felt that maybe the screenwriter wasn't really trying exactly. I mean, I can tell that this film had more of a budget than the first one. I'll give it that. It definitely had more money placed into it. Had a bigger budget, sure. But it still didn't save the movie at all, folks. Some of the music in here, folks, was kind of okay, I guess. But all the others just felt forced. And that's the other thing, folks. I have to bring up the musical numbers. And don't get me wrong, folks. I understand that this is supposed to be a musical film / drama, which is fine. I'm all for that. However, it just the way that was set up in this movie, the musical numbers were all set up all contrived like. They were just there just to be there. It felt extremely contrived, and I don't like it. And just when the movie feels extremely contrived, the movie is automatically garbage, if you ask me, folks. So yeah, you can say that that's the best way to explain the entire plot of this movie, folks. That's how it feels like. And yeah, of course, I understand that you have to have this particular contest going on, or having some sort of set pieces in which the characters can sing in some sort of fashion. Sure, go along with that, but what's the deal with the whole mother-daughter conflict going on with her meeting up with the new family members? Well, the new boyfriend, anyway, who's going to become the husband. And so that will make them the, I guess, the stepfather, I suppose. So yeah, they tried to have some drama, but the way it was done just came off all stupid like. If they have to go there anyway, folks, behind the mother's back, this would mean that having the whole contest angle in the beginning of the film just seems totally unnecessary, because they were going to eventually have a vacation there anyhow, which was the whole idea to begin with. So, like I said, folks, I don't understand this at all. And I know this was a family movie that was aimed for a young audience and maybe up to teenagers, the 13-year-olds maybe. And yes, I know, folks, some parents out there are going to be telling me, well, my 12-year-old liked it and thought it was fantastic. Well, you know what? I don't care. Little kids lack the critical thinking skills anyway, so how is that information any importance to me?
Alright. This thing is a good place to be in. With some dirty clothes. There you go. Seems like a good spot. Alright. How many times? You know what, Mr. Monkey? Here we go. I need to fix the problem. Again. Yeah, good thing this has a good amount of ammo in it, so... Alright, Mr. Monkey. I'm getting sick of your stuff, you know that? I'm really sick of you. Yeah.
This movie is still lousy, and it pains me to say that because I actually like watching Disney movies. Unfortunately, this one was garbage. Granted, it's not the worst Disney movie ever seen, but it's still not good at all. And some of the, I guess, the dance sequences were kind of off, especially in the beginning, really, folks. The lyrics for some of these, well, for all the songs actually, weren't very good, folks. Not catchy. I mean, they were attempting to make it upbeat and inspirational, but in a lot of ways they failed. I mean, well, they inspired me to be bored throughout the entire film, sure. But other than that, folks, it was just flat. The singing was somewhat okay, I guess. So yeah, in some ways, I feel cheated out of this movie because this film just came out dumb. In a lot of ways, just really dumb. And it just came out that this film was a huge commercial in a lot of ways. It's just a huge commercial and nothing more. I know this film does attempt to be deep in a lot of ways, folks. And I've actually, the sad part about this, yeah, again, it does attempt to be deep, really meaningful. But ironically enough, at the end of the day, this film just came out really shallow. It was pretty much nothing more than a huge hot air balloon. I mean, it looks big, but deep down, it's extremely hollow. And that's a good example for this particular movie. It was nothing more than a huge, humongous hot air balloon, and that's it. I mean, it does attempt to have an overly complicated storyline for no reason. Things just happen just for the sake of happening, for no real reason at all. So yeah, we're going to see this film is about these women. They are part of this band that goes to Spain, and somehow there's like a love interest with one of the Cheetah Girls and this one dude, and it somehow happens for some odd reason. So yeah, at the end of the day, folks, what I'm saying here is that this film is pretty to look at. Yep, it's just pretty to look at. Some of these set pieces were pretty cool. I like a lot of the set pieces, and a lot of the camera work was actually pretty good. But, like I said, it's just a pretty face to look at and nothing more. And I know some people are going to be telling me, oh, it's a family movie. What was I expecting? Well, you know what? Piss off, will ya? I was expecting a good movie. Just because it's a family movie doesn't mean it has to be bad. Good movie is a good movie, regardless of its genre. You could make any storyline interesting if you put the effort into it. So what's going on exactly? Alright, the screenwriter got lazy, I guess you can say, because a lot of it doesn't make a whole lot of sense. There's some plot holes here and there, folks. I mean, not a whole lot of them, but there's a few here and there. And there's a few situations that could have been easily resolved, but it just drags on for some odd reason. Okay, granted, you could always talk your problems out and be civil about it, sure. And you could always use diplomacy in order to defuse a particular situation, which is fine, of course. That's fine. However, the way that this film handles that kind of thing it just comes off passive aggressive, which pisses me off. The characters that are passive aggressive just piss me off. They're just like that for no reason. It pisses me off right here, folks, because when I think about it, it contradicts the entire movie. I'm reviewing this movie because of the fact, well, it's a part of my Disney movie marathon. And yes, it's on my list of movies to review, so I'll have to go through this mess. Oh boy. So yeah, folks. Yeah, that thing is with this movie is that the characters are one-dimensional. Even saying that is too much, I guess you can say, because even the plot line is a bit one-dimensional as well. So overall, I can say that this entire movie is definitely, especially with the rock girl band or whatever they're supposed to be, it's so boring. It's so bland. I mean, granted, I didn't have any high expectations for a sequel anyway, because the first movie wasn't all that great either. But I mean, if you want to compare it to this one, the first movie was pretty okay, I guess. It was alright, I suppose. But I'd much rather watch the first one than this one. So I don't know what's going on, really, folks. The movie was pretty much dull. Really, really dull. Also, there was this one character, yeah, this Qatar guy. Yeah, he amounts to something in the story, kind of, sort of. Yeah, he doesn't amount to anything until the end of the movie. Of course, I'm not going to spoil anything, really, because for anyone that wants to watch the movie, I don't know why anyone would, because this movie isn't really good, actually. But those are other characters. I think he was supposed to be, I think, some manager of some nightclub, I think. And yeah, he meets up with the Qatar guy just a moment ago. I'm just gonna call him Qatar guy because I never remember his name. Yeah, the Qatar guy from a moment ago is in this nightclub, and then the Cheetah Girls will start singing this particular song, and then there was this manager guy of that club, I guess, I think. And he comes in. He wants to make them internationally known, even though they already are. An indication of this is when the Cheetah Girls pretty much interrupted the Qatar guy's song, and then by the end of that song, they just pretty much end up cheering or whatnot. Yeah, this sounds like it was written by a little kid or something, folks. Come on now. What, did a little 8-year-old wrote the script for this movie? Oh yeah, folks, see what I mean? It doesn't sound very good at all. So, if anybody wants to watch this movie, well, I don't know why you would want to torture yourself. Just don't expect a whole lot, folks. Because this movie as a whole was really, really flawed. Way too many flaws. And this film just brings itself down because of it. I won't necessarily say too many, really. Just those certain issues in regards to storytelling are big enough to weigh itself down. That's a good way of saying it, because yeah, a lot of stuff that happens in the film are way, way too convenient. See what I mean, folks? It just comes off contrived, like I said earlier. So that's definitely a bad thing right there, folks. And it also heavily relies on the fact that you've already seen the first movie, and doesn't even bother to reintroduce any of the characters. I mean, I understand if something has already been established before, but don't be lazy about it. Come on. So, it just doesn't hold up quite well, folks. And I didn't like how this was done. I mean, granted, like I said earlier, this is far from the worst I've seen. But still, folks, it just came out extremely bland and really generic. The entire plot of this film is really, really generic. And yes, this film is supposed to take place in Spain, but in some ways it came off like a wasted potential right there, folks. They could have had the characters explore the culture in a lot of ways, but ended up not doing it. Some of the cultural facts that were placed in this film were totally wrong as well. Case in point, the scene where they have to eat some tacos and whatnot, they did not originate from Spain. They came from Mexico, to be exact, and that's kind of, you know, insulting in a lot of ways. So what? Just because they speak Spanish doesn't make them Mexican. That's stupid. Really, really stupid. They're supposed to take place in Spain, which means the people in here are Spaniard. You're ignoramus. That doesn't mean they're Mexican. Come on now. That's really insensitive right there, folks. There are different Hispanic cultures out there. So yeah. So the film was being a bit insensitive in that regard. So yeah, I didn't like that at all, folks. Come on now. So yeah, that's not always just pretty stupid, folks. Again, I do believe that the screenwriter of this film was pretty careless in a lot of ways, not doing the proper research that needed to be done for this particular movie. You do need to do your research in movies, you know. Come on. Even when it came to speaking Spanish, even that was done wrong as well. Not always, but in some degrees it was. Yeah, the way to say goodbye or hello, the dialect of that is different depending on which country you go to, whether it's Cuba, Spain, Mexico, or even Portuguese as well. It depends on which country you're talking about. Saying certain words is completely different, and depending on which word you're saying, it could actually mean a swear word in the other country. So certain situations could have gone really heated up right away because of that. This would imply that the characters would have unintentionally created some conflict because they didn't know any better. So come on now, folks, you don't have to make the characters ignorant here, so give me a break. It's like saying the Japanese people are Chinese just because they're Asian. See what I mean, folks? That's really insensitive right there, folks. And yeah, talk about some cultural errors right there, folks. And that's what happened here, some cultural errors here and there. Which, of course, is stupid. But folks, yeah, don't expect a whole lot from this film if you're gonna actually watch this, folks. So yeah, folks, overall, this was a really disappointing film as a whole. This film was a totally needless sequel. It did not need to be made. It just came off that it was just made just for the simple fact that the first one was popular enough. I don't know how the first one got popular enough for that, but oh, okay. Somehow it's worth enough to have another sequel for some odd reason. So yeah, I was really not looking forward for this at all, folks. I mean, some of these set pieces look nice, sure. I know like he had a bigger budget, but overall, folks, I really didn't like this movie as a whole. It was very disappointing, and this could have been a good movie if it was done better. If there was more research being done in the story and have a better constructed plot with more three-dimensional characters, it would have been a much enjoyable ride. I mean, I could have dealt with the cheesiness here and there if the plotline was much better, I suppose. But overall, folks, I really did not care for it. I actually skipped this movie as a whole because there's so many flaws. Well, at least the flaws in this film that it has are big enough that really wears it down. So, at the end of the day, folks, this was just, I guess you can say, I guess at the end of the day, it was a below average film. It was almost mediocre, but doesn't quite reach it, really, folks. Almost mediocre, but didn't quite make it. This film, the Cheetah Girls Part 2, the extended version, it gets an overall rating of a 4.5 out of 10, folks. It gets a 4.5 out of 10 for me. As always, thanks for watching and take care. See ya.